Good day, mates. Welcome back to Unpopular Aussie Opinions, where we rip the band-aid off the raw, messy truths of our great game that nobody else dares touch. I'm your host, and today, we are diving into a scandal that's got footy fans frothing at the mouth and ready to storm NRL headquarters. Ezra Mam, the Broncos' golden boy, fresh off a premiership triumph, has allegedly been caught with cocaine again, this time in a ritzy Canberra hotel, partying like the grand final never ended. And yet, whispers suggest he'll skate with another slap on the wrist. Meanwhile, the NRL's dropped a nuclear 10-year ban on anyone even sniffing around the Saudi-backed R360 Rebel League. Fans are losing their minds, and here's my unpopular take. This isn't just about Mam's fall from grace. It's a screaming indictment of a league that coddles its superstars while torching anyone who dares dream of a rival code. The hypocrisy's thicker than a Suncorp Stadium pie, and it's driving a wedge through the heart of rugby league. Strap in, because we are unpacking why fans are feral, why this double standard stinks, and why this saga's trending like wildfire. Let's paint the picture. It's October 2025, and the Broncos are still bathing in the glow of their grand final win over the Storm. Ezra Mam's the poster child, 22 years old, Indigenous trailblazer, weaving magic in the halves like he's channeling Alfie Langer. But rewind to October 2024, and he's in the headlines for all the wrong reasons: driving unlicensed, cocaine in his system, smashing his ute into an Uber carrying a mum, her 4-year-old daughter, and their driver. The crash leaves the kid with a fractured hip, the others battered and bruised. Brisbane Magistrates Court doesn't hold back. Magistrate Mark Nolan calls it a stupid decision that could have killed. Mam pleads guilty, $850 fine, 6-month driving ban, no conviction recorded. The NRL piles on, 9-game suspension to start 2025, $30,000 fine, another $90,000 from the club, plus rehab and unpaid labour on a building site. Harsh. Maybe, but the Broncos nearly tore up his $4 million contract. Coach Michael Maguire steps in, vouching for Mam's heart of gold after chats with his family. By round 10, he's back, torching the Dragons, snagging an Origin recall, and sealing his redemption with a grand final masterclass. Fans lap it up. The telly screams Mam's miracle. Then, boom, October 15th, 2025. Days after the premiership party, ACT police raid a swanky hotel near Parliament House on a tip-off about a rager gone wrong. Traces of cocaine in Mam's room, mates scattering like roaches, hotel staff spilling to the Daily Mail about bottles everywhere, thumping music, and a glassy-eyed 5/8 at the centre of it all. No charges yet, police are still sniffing around, but insiders say possessions on the table, maybe supply if the evidence points that way. Mam's camp is already spinning. Misunderstanding. Wrong place, wrong time. Mates brought the gear. Sound familiar? It's the crash saga on steroids, and fans are apoplectic. Why? Because while Mam's allegedly backsliding into the white stuff, the NRL's playing hardball elsewhere. Same week, they announce a 10-year ban for any player or agent caught negotiating with a 360, the Saudi-funded Rebel League eyeing a 2027 launch. Talk about a rival comp? You're done. Blacklisted from the game down under for a decade. The Raw calls it a mega move to protect the code. Fans call it a bloody outrage when stacked against Mam's apparent free pass. The internet's a war zone. X is erupting with hashtag NRL hypocrisy and hashtag Mammulligan trending like a runaway train. One user sums it up: Mam nearly kills a family on coke, plays the grand final. Talk to R360? 10 years in the wilderness. What a joke. Another fires off. Ezra gets rehab and a ring. Tapau's benched for liking a critical post. Broncos privilege much. Reddit's or NRL is a furnace. Cleary's high shot gets less heat than Mam's high life. Fans aren't just angry, they're betrayed. This is trending because it's raw, relatable rage. The game they bleed for is picking winners and losers based on star power, not principle. Mam's crash was a near tragedy. Hospital beds, a kid's fractured hip, a family's trauma, yet is back in 9 games. Compare that to the R360 ban. No crime, no victims, just a hypothetical chat about a rival league, and you're out for a decade. It's like fining a bloke $850 for armed robbery while jailing someone for jaywalking. The double standard's so blatant it's practically a neon sign. Let's break it down. Mam's 2024 crash wasn't a one-off mistake. Court doc said cocaine was in his blood from a social hit the day before, meaning he chose to drive knowing he was compromised. The victims? A mum still jumpy at intersections, a kid with a limp, a driver out of pocket. Mam's apology in February 2025 was textbook. I shouldn't have driven. I'm truly sorry. He reached out to the family, 2 months late, mind you, because lawyers advised waiting. Rehab, community work, Maguire's mentorship, it all screamed second chance. And it worked, didn't it? Origin, grand final, fans chanting his name. But this Canberra hotel mess? If true, it's not a relapse, it's a middle finger to the grace he was given. Hotel staff told the telly they saw lines on a table, heard Mam laughing it off until the cops knocked. If charges land, possession, supply, whatever, it's not just his career on the line, it's the NRL's credibility. Fans aren't buying the "he's young" excuse anymore. At 22, you know better. At $4 million, you're not a kid, you're a brand. Now, pivot to R360. The NRL's terrified of a Super League rerun, and fair enough, Saudi millions could poach half the comp. But a 10-year ban for a conversation? That's not protecting the game, that's authoritarian overreach. Imagine Latrell Mitchell or Nathan Cleary fielding an offer. Bam, career over. No trial, no nuance, just exile. Meanwhile, Mam's alleged coke caper gets whispers of another suspension, maybe 12 games maximum 0 tackles already floating it. Mam could miss half of 2026. Half a season for a second drug scandal versus a decade for a phone call? Fans are torching the league on X. NRL's fine with players snorting lines but not signing lines with a 360. The contrast is catnip for clicks. Montages of Mam's highlights juxtaposed with Saudi skyscrapers, overlaid with Peter V'landys's stern integrity of the game quotes. It's trending because it's visceral. Fans feel cheated by a system that bends for Broncos blue bloods but breaks rebels without a second thought. Why is this hitting so hard? Because rugby league's the people's game. It's built on loyalty, fans who pack Suncorp in the rain, kids who idolise Mam's footwork, communities who see him as a beacon for Indigenous pride. But when the NRL lets a star slide for crimes that'd bury a tradie, while threatening to nuke anyone eyeing a rival paycheck, it's a betrayal of that bond. The Mam saga's personal. A kid from Cherbourg, meant to inspire, allegedly choosing powder over promise. The R360 ban systemic, a league scared of losing control, swinging harder at shadows than substance. Together, they are dynamite. TikTok's already got fans stitching clips of Mam's crash wreckage with V'landys's ban announcement, captioned "Fair go, mate." Podcasts are dissecting it. Talkbacks flooded with "Where's the line?" rants. This could hit #1 on X by week's end. #NRL double standards already climbing. But let's not kid ourselves. Mam's no victim. He's got the talent to lead Queensland for a decade, but talent's not a free pass. The crash was a wake-up call. This hotel fiasco, if proven, is a choice. Fans deserve better than idols who treat hotel suites like chemistry labs. And the NRL? Time to ditch the two-tiered rulebook. Drug test year-round, not just pre-season. Fine players what hurts, $8.50 for millionaires a joke, make it a percentage of their deal. Enforce bans that match the crime. Endanger lives, you sit longer than 9 games. And R360? Let players talk. Competition sharpens the game, not kills it. Transparency, not tyranny, rebuilds trust. Imagine 2027, Mam's clean, captaining the Broncos, inspiring kids without scandal. R360's a fizzler because the NRL's too strong to need bans. Possible, if we demand it now. This trends because it's the game soul on trial. Fans are done with favourites. So, legends, what's your call? Is Mam's pass a disgrace, or the ban overkill? Smash the comments, hit like if you're as livid as I am, subscribe for more gut punch takes, and ring the bell to stay in the fight. Until next time, keep it fierce, keep it fair. In footy, hypocrasy's the real sin. Cheers.